Here we go. The lightning's cracking. Tory Lanez. People are still talking about that. Now, the misinformation that was coming out, right? And people were screaming, me and ears to the street. Shouts out to ears to the street. We were on Kwame Brown's channel. I think it was Kwame Brown 2.0. Subscribe to both of them as well. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to this page also. We were having a discussion, but I was in the middle of dropping off gifts and wasn't in a position to actually continue the conversation. Plus, for I don't know what reason, it just StreamYard, it just eats my phone's battery completely. My phone started overheating. So me doing it on mobile, it don't seem to be working the same. Now, let's revisit some of the conversational points that I couldn't get back to. The first part that I wanted to revisit was the theory of the no DNA found on the gun of Tory Lanez. This is what people call misinformation. Because they said that there is no DNA of Tory Lanez found on the gun. This is part of what I told y'all, misinformation. They said Tory Lanez DNA, and this is from the case, ladies and gentlemen. So I want everyone to understand that there's a difference. There is a major difference between actually listening to the evidence that they have that's used in the trial and the experts that come in and actually going by fan theory and internet theory. And sometimes those lines get blurred and people take what they think they heard and they run with it. They never ever stated Tory Lanez's DNA was not on the gun. The expert who analyzed the gun came and testified that Tory Lanez's DNA was not found on the magazine of the gun. So his DNA wasn't found on the magazine in the gun. And that the DNA on the gun was inconclusive, meaning that there are multiple like DNA on the gun that is so much it's inconclusive. Everybody's DNA probably on the gun. So it's hard to say whose DNA it is definitively using the DNA analysis. Then y'all said he didn't have gunpowder residue on him, which he did. But also, she had some on her hands too, which means she was close to the shooter. A lot of people don't understand how DNA residue, gunpowder residue works. The GPR and all that stuff. They want to break that down. It goes out as a cloud of smoke, almost, and spreads. Now it gets on somebody's jacket. It gets on somebody's, and they don't even know they got it. You can't see it. And that's how they could tell if somebody fired a firearm or whatever. I know people who done some illegal activities, and they would take bleach and go take a shower with bleach, and they would just get rid of the clothes that they were wearing. Period. They're not even taking a chance. Whatever they had on, that's gone. So when they go down to do the DNA testing of firearms and all this stuff, all they have to do is test, see if it's gunpowder residue. If they don't find any, they gotta basically let you go home. Now, did the person that I know was guilty of sin? Oh hell yeah. And there was several eyewitnesses. But that person knew what to do, and it worked for them that time. But that part of misinformation keeps everybody screaming reasonable doubt. Then this guy makes a song in which he dictates that, oh, she's lying about actually getting shot. How did you get shot in the foot, but there's no broken bones in your foot? And that the bullet just magically didn't hit any of your tendons or anything. So he's trying to make it look like, oh, this is just part of her imagination. When they actually was pulling shrapnel out of her foot. He was trying to give the illusion that she didn't get shot. Then you have someone who gave the police their original statement, then tried to recant that statement to help Tory Lanez. Why would they do that if they were the shooter? In her immediate text, she said that. Then when she talked to prosecutors, she said that. Then she went on the stand and said, they asked her, did you do it? She said, no, I did not shoot Meg. Did the driver? She said, no. Did Meg shoot herself? No. So there's only one other person there. Yeah. And she pleaded the fifth and didn't really want to admit it was him. There's only four of them there. But sticking to her side of the story or the details, she declined to do any damage to Tory. But she eventually did anyway. They gave her full immunity, meaning that you're not going to be prosecuted for nothing. So you don't have to take the fifth. Nothing, you can't be. And her lawyer's like, wow, okay, well, yeah, go ahead and talk then. So now you have to monitor the bag. Now, that'll be the next move. The witness testimony is what put that man behind. They said, oh, the witness first said that he saw a woman shooting. Let's go right there with that. Now, Everyone says, well, that witness said that he saw a woman shoot, and then she shot first, and now he's saying he seen Tory shoot. So that's two shooters. Now, here's what happened in court. They asked Mr. Sean Kelly, who was the witness, to actually identify where the car was, showed him the photo of his home, which they did. He showed the photo of his home, all of these things, right? Then they said, sir, can you identify here and show us exactly, like, okay, it was on the front of his lawn, through this like cul-de-sac area, whatever. And he sees one woman get out of the car, which is identified as Meg. Then he says another woman gets out of the car, and they're arguing. It's an argument going on to the point where the driver gets out of the car, which is we know is Tory's bodyguard, goes over and tries to break up the altercation. Now, the short guy gets out of the vehicle and goes over, and it's a free for all. He's angry. And according to the witness, he said he thought that the flash came probably from the woman. It looked like it, but he thought maybe it was fireworks or something. And a flash went. But they were all standing by each other. But he said, I never saw her with a gun, but I saw like a flash. And it was close to where the woman is, so I thought maybe the woman shot. But I distinctively saw at least 5 flashes go off, and the shorter gentleman was holding a gun. So he's identified the firearm in the arms of Tory Lanez. He never said he saw Kelsey with the gun. He said he saw a flash, and he assumed that maybe, at first he thought it was maybe fireworks or something, but the first shot could have come from her because he thought he saw the flash by the woman, but he was standing next to her, so it could have been either or. He was mistaken, so he was confusing the defense and the prosecution at first. So he was like, no, I just wanted to identify what I saw happen. And he said at the end of it, he saw the little guy was holding the gun and shot the 5 shots in the air or whatever he was just shooting. So after it, he testifies that the 3 of them started to go over and beat the woman. All 3 of them. And they were contemplating picking her up and throwing her into that, like they have like a ravine, a river over there, just throwing her over there, according to the witness, Sean Kelly. But he heard the bodyguard say, the police are coming. So they got her in the car instead. Now, this is coming from the actual witness. Take that as you may. He's once identified Tory had a gun in his hand and was shooting. You have to understand this, and you people keep saying, why did they say that about Meg? Why did they say that? Megan Thee Stallion is not on trial. Tory Lanez, Daystar Peterson, is on trial. Okay? Meg is the one that got shot. Tory Lanez, Daystar Peterson, is the one that's on trial, that was on trial. All right? Hopefully that is now clear to you. Now, both sides agree that Meg did get shot. That clears up all the other misconceptions you've heard. Right? Remember they had the theory going with your this, did she actually get shot? Now, here's what the defense did and what the offense did together. Here is what we call the nonsense. Right? Right. Now, people say on the internet that she wasn't shot and all that stuff. We went through that. Now, in the trial, the defense had two dumb ass defenses because in their stance, Tory Lanez never shot a gun. So, no matter if Kelsey had shot, the bodyguard had shot, Tory never shot a gun. It was somebody else. Was their defense going into this? So, their defensive strategy was Meg back was turned. So how does she know who shot her? Oh, how do you know it was her? You see, when you start taking that type of approach, you're already messing up. Because you're like, oh, well, how do you know that? Uh, well, how do you know that it wasn't Kelsey? If she was fighting, the bodyguard's there and she's fighting Kelsey, and her back was turned. Now it's like, oh, well, her back isn't turned anymore. How do you know? It's like, how many people could be shooting at her when it's only 4 people? So it's a very weak defense, and I would be mad at my defense team more than anything else for relying on such murky details of thinking misinformation is going to cause a hung jury, or just to say, hey, we got too much inconclusiveness here to say he actually did this. When the case was in which he stated he never fired a gun. So now, let's create the reasonable doubt so you can't prove without a shadow of a doubt he did it. So to me it's a problem when it's all this misconceptions going around, and me, I don't use people that I know that they're faulty. Like, I won't use DJ Academics as a source of information because that's tainted. Period. Well, the defense was shifting from, we don't know who shot her, how she know who shot her. So then they switched the story to, what do you say? Well, it was, how did she know it wasn't her friend, Miss Harris? It could be her friend, Miss Harris. So now your defense switch from how does she know her back was turned? How did she know it was Tory? She said her back was turned. How did she know it wasn't Miss Harris? So it's like you gotta have a defense and stick to that all the way to the end. You know, because you're gonna make yourself sound ridiculous. And it's problematic for those who are not in the know, like the fans on the internet, they just read this stuff and go with it. And I mean, this was like one of the worst versions of misinformation I've ever seen. Tory Lanez was innocent was trending because somebody sat up there and actually started this fake information about before the jury even deliberated. They talking about there's a leaked information saying that Tory Lanez is going to be freed on 2 of the 3 charges, and so he's innocent on 2 of the 3 charges, and oh, he's going to be coming home, and this was Tory's innocent. Tory Lanez is innocent. Got that trending. There's going to be an investigation into that to find out where the source came from, who was running with it, and you got people like DJ Academics claiming that, misinformation. Oh, I don't know nothing about it. Then on the 21st of this year, last week, what is it? The 26th? Hell, 4 days ago. He was on Twitter saying Tory Lanez was finna have his driver testify on his behalf today. The prosecutors claimed they couldn't find him for hella long. Tory was about to hit them with the fatality today if the driver took the stand. Holy. Now, once again, you're involving yourself in an open trial, talking about things that don't make any sense whatsoever. On December the 21st, dude, do you realize that that's not how it works? You just can't bring somebody to court when the trial's already going on and be like, oh, and then the prosecution don't know anything about it. They have to know who's coming into the doggone courtroom. You just can't get up and call somebody to the stand. It don't work that way. And why would Tory Lanez finna have his driver testify today, but the prosecutors couldn't find him? Why would the prosecutors need to find him? If he's Tory Lanez's witness, if he's finna testify on Tory's behalf, shouldn't the defense be the one that has to find him? And if he's finna have him testify on his behalf, then why the hell he ain't there? That's the dumbest statement I've ever seen in my life. And that came from DJ Academics. And y'all run with it. Y'all be, oh man, you just ain't no. I'm just giving y'all the real. Don't that sound stupid? That he put out on Twitter? Doesn't that sound retarded? The prosecutors claim they couldn't find him. Why would they need to find him? Y'all need to find him. Tory's the one on trial. He's fighting for his freedom. Y'all need to find him if he's the guy that's going to provide some evidence that could free him. So the defense would need to find him, not the prosecutors. But that's who y'all go to for your source of information. And that's why I must just wait. I'ma just wait for it. Cause he gonna be no, Tubby. You gonna have to learn the hard way. When there's legal situations going on, you want the hits and views, you want to do all this misinformation, just like Lawyer for Workers and all of this other goofiness. All of these guys Retards. Now, let's get to the other part of the case. Kelsey Harris. Everybody forgets that in this testimony, they said he offered Meg and Kelsey both $1 million to stay quiet. Right? $1 million. He got it for him. 1 million. If they was to stay quiet. Now, they asked Kelsey Harris on the stand about this. They said to Kelsey Harris, what about that statement? Did he claim to give you $1 million for your cooperation to stay quiet on this? Those wasn't his exact words. Well, what was his exact words? Well, I take the fifth. So, what she's basically telling you, and you can insinuate because she took the fifth, if she said those wasn't his exact words, then what words were they? And why was she taking the fifth? Well, it was quite obvious why she was taking the fifth, because she said in fear she might incriminate herself. And you guys think it's because of shooting somebody, when you are admitting the fact that she actually says she did not shoot Meg in this case on the stand. Right? No, she was pleading the fifth. And you could put that together when she said those wasn't the exact words. You put 2 and 2 together. She took the bag. So if she doesn't take the fifth under oath, and they investigate that she did take money, and find out that she did they track back that she took a bag, then that's a problem. But that's why she took the fifth and got the complete immunity, because she took money. That's my opinion, that she took the money, because she let that door to be open when she took the fifth. You got to look at the details and why things were done in the way that it went. And they were like, well, why are they not really pushing her? Because they're not there to investigate Kelsey. Kelsey's not on trial. Daystar Peterson is on trial. Tory Lanez is on trial. As I keep trying to explain to you, but you keep trying to come up with excuses to protect the doggone person that did it. And that's what's sad to me. That's what's sad, is that we supposed to be the protector of black women, but we fight with black women all the time. When black women got the biggest reason to be disgusted with us. They do. The reason why you mad the way they act now, we turned them this way. We turned them this way. Women cater to what men like. Whether you want to believe it or not, they do. They give up stuff that they believe in just to make you happy. They start wearing more suggestive clothes. They twerking. They doing anything they can to get you to notice them. They want your approval. In the 80s, you couldn't get women to do none of this filthy stuff that they do now. In the 70s, are you kidding? You couldn't, you wouldn't, you'd be caught dead. You'd be lucky if a woman would take your number and call you a couple of times and go out on a date. But they ain't finna, if they give you something, they give you something. But they ain't finna do all this freaky, crazy, nasty stuff these people doing nowadays. Mm-mm. They ain't finna be out here all on the floor showing off all they goodies for the world to see. That's because our standards became trash. We started promoting and jumping at the filth till that's all we wanted to see. Our female rappers used to wear jeans, Timberlands, fully covered. Then you start seeing girls like HWA came out, and they started promoting themselves in these sexy outfits. Then Little Kim and Foxy Brown made it like the standard. And from that point on, it just became sex rap. They wouldn't even sell Little Kim album in Walmart and Target. It was too filthy. They could sell Snoop Dogg album, but they wouldn't sell Lil Kim album. They said this is nothing but filth. So with that being said, this is what's going on. I want you to be clear. The whole world is caught in this over sexualized society that we got, to where the standards don't exist anymore. We blame everybody before we find out what's really going on. And all this misinformation that was flying out, all these people are going to have to deal with that. But we have to stop running to conspiracy theories. Yes, there is a bunch of women out here that's falsely accusing us black men that's angry at black men, period. We all see the black man as a target. So when we see a black man going through something and a black woman is the situation, we automatically want to rally for the black man and attack the black woman. But this is an idiot who did something stupid to a black woman, period. And this person has a track record of being a stupid individual who does stupid things. He just did something stupid less than a month ago. And another, a stupid situation, all he had to do was just go home, walk away. But he keeps finding himself doing these stupid things that keeps him in this, this box that he's in now. And now he's being rewarded for his stupid behavior. He's getting the stupid prize he asked for by trying to be a artist / gangster. So now this is your reward. You go to jail. Don't pass go. Don't get your $200. Now we'll find out how much time he gets on the 27th, and then he could probably file an appeal after some time served. Maybe 1 or 2 years, he could probably file an appeal. But This is a guy who used Meg's shooting as a promotion for his albums, for his interviews, for everything, to try to use this to motivate his career. Who would do that if somebody who didn't do it? If I didn't shoot somebody, I'm not finna even talk about, I'm not even finna deal with that. This person is like marketing himself off of it and thinks he's outsmarted everyone. And I saw through the facade. I'm quite sure everyone else saw through the facade, but the internet won't, because they are so addicted to controversy. There's got to be a smoking gun. It can't be the way it is. If anybody died, anybody, DJ, what's his name? Twitch died. Oh no, he didn't just die. He knew something, and they came and took him out. All of these theories just out of the blue. And they wanted me to speak on it. And I said, well, I'm not speaking on it because there's nothing really to say. I'm like, I've looked into it. And as the real reason, I'm still trying to get more information on it before I actually say anything. You know, you got to understand that this man took his own life, apparently, but a life is gone. So his family, his kids, they got to see that. So you got to be a little responsible when you're doing that. You just don't jump out the box and just start doing something just because it's a trending topic. I've shown and proved through to all of you throughout the years, I'm not doing something for clicks and views. If that was the case, I would have talked about Tory Lanez all during this trial, him and Meg, what's going on with it. I would have marketed my whole channel on this trial. Same thing with Thugger. Thugger trial is going on. I'm not marketing anything in this trial. I'm waiting till it concludes, then I'll start talking. So Gunner took a plea deal. We spoke about Gunner taking a plea deal. His case is concluded. So again, I've been consistent. While these other people, they have no morals, they don't care, they don't understand this until it hits them in their face and they realize the dangers in what they're doing. They wanted to be in the big boy game, and then they're gonna find out what that it really details. Getting in on the on the stage in the big boy game. So on that note, I think we've covered enough. Now let's answer just a few, because we've already went about 40 minutes on this. Let's talk about a few of your Cash App questions. Now, here we go. Because we need to be so clear. Cash App question number 1. Sino, I think you paid off by Rock Nation. Why would I be paid off by Rock Nation? What about me that I would be paid off by Rock Nation? What would indicate that? Huh? As much as I spoke about Rock Nation, I'm with Carl Crawford in his lawsuit against Meg. In that whole situation, I sided with Carl Crawford as they were coming in with bullying tactics on Carl, and I felt they were wrong to come at Carl the way they did. So I've never sided with Rock Nation on pretty much anything they've ever done. So that's what I'm saying. People just will say anything when they just don't, when you don't agree with what the masses are, because these people are normally followers or they have some agenda because some women have wronged them in the past. People will be like, black women and did that. Man, I know how these women is. So they immediately see the situation here and then side with the guy. That naturally happens without actually knowing that this dummy actually did it. People omit everything that they know about this idiot. And just on this magical day, this guy is not going to be an idiot. This was a perfect storm. All this hell is breaking loose, and this person is known for being stupid. Something happened to somebody, and this person was the voice of reason and the savior and trying to make sure everybody was okay and all that. That it Come on, who are you talking to? Makes no sense. Now, now it's Jay Z's fault. This is another question. I mean, a cash out question. You know Jay Z, man. Look how he did Gilly the Kid. Come on, Sino. Gilly the Kid. Are we talk? Are you nuts? Y'all going back 30 years to say, look how he did Gilly the Kid. He said he was gonna make life tough for him, and he did. Cause he didn't sign with Rockefeller, and they didn't accept the deal. He went and built his own major figures out of Philly, called them state property. Took some other rappers from Philly and rapped with them. That's how he made it difficult for them. He was like, all right, you ain't gonna take the deal. I'll sign some dudes from Philly and make my own group. And he made things really tough for the major figures, which was true. He did. Y'all act like I'm saying Jay is an honorable man. Absolutely not. But that has nothing to do with this case. You guys just cannot get past the facade. Y'all should have been asking, in his defense, should have really been leery when they added another charge to the case 2 weeks before the trial. That's when your eyes should have went up. 2 weeks before the trial, and you get hit with a new charge. A third felony? Mm. My antennas would have went up then. That was really bad news for him. That is negligent discharge of a firearm. So they already know. We know that you shot it now. That we really need to add this next charge, which is another felony. Negligent discharge of a firearm, which is a third felony. And he's found guilty on all 3 felony charges. So let me tell you something. Once they added the third felony, they knew something. They had their case. And 2 weeks before that trial, they added a new charge. Buddy boy, you should have been known. They ain't playing. Alex Spiro don't play. None of the people over there play. You can try to rally the people all you want. And it's like, oh, we gonna tarnish man's career over this. Go ahead. Think that's gonna last. But no matter what, you did it. Now, for your peanut head daddy, we're gonna talk about him later. But I'm out. We made this too long. Thanks for everybody who subscribed, hit the super chat. Everybody who's shown love to the page. God bless y'all. Happy holidays. Be safe. Kwanzaa. Everything, bro. You know, just want people to be safe out there. And stay away from idiots like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm out.